The weather in Lordsburg wasn't too different from Fresno, dry and hot, just a little more extreme. My body adjusted quickly. I'd only been in school there for the last 5 weeks of the year before summer break began, so I'd made exactly one friend, Aaron, the other weird kid. My mom, knowing I was already pretty hermit-like, didn't want me to spend my summer alone or waiting on Aaron. One day, she decided to drop me off at the city pool, hoping I'd find some new friends. Lordsburg had a population of maybe 3,000 at the time, minuscule compared to Fresno, but for some reason, the city pool was Olympic-sized and pristine, its deepest point plunging 15 feet. Though I was a shy and tentative kid, I could entertain myself at the pool for hours. I spent the first part of the day exploring every corner before finally making my way to the deep end. That's when I noticed them. 3 girls from my class cornering another girl, an adorable blonde I didn't recognize. I inched closer, pretending to be casual, but really I just wanted to hear what was being said. What I heard disgusted me. The 3 popular girls were berating her looks, her personality, her body. My mom had raised me to find beauty in everyone, and watching them tear her down set me off. I cursed them out and told them to get lost. The blonde girl had already been crying, but now she turned her back so I wouldn't see her tears fall even harder. Her friend Brandy was nearby, and together we did our best to comfort her. Through sniffles, she asked me why I had stood up for her. The question confused me. To me, it was just the right thing to do. I didn't know how to explain that. But she accepted my kindness, and the 3 of us spent the rest of the day playing together. Before we left, I asked her name. "Ginny," she said. We saw each other at the pool a few more times that week, and soon we asked our parents if we could hang out outside of swimming. As it turned out, she lived right across the street from the apartment that my mom and I rented in the city. We spent most of our time at my grandparents' place out in the sticks, but we stayed in town often that hanging out was easier than we thought. Our first time together was like any other 90s grade school friendship. We'd run around parks and invent our own games and talk about the mysteries of the world. There was a school right on the street, and we'd play there until well past dusk nearly every day. Our families affectionately called us Forrest and Jenny, partly because Forrest Gump was wildly popular at the time, but mostly because of the way I ran on the sides of my feet. Our adventures were innocent, but they remain vivid in my mind to this day. One of the most exciting things we ever did was find 3 abandoned kittens in a storage drain. We didn't want to take them to a shelter, afraid they'd be put down, so we brought them to our 89-year-old neighbor, Mrs. Badgett. She was known for taking in strays, and sure enough, she happily nursed them back to health. Several times a week, Ginny and I'd show up at her house just to play with our kittens. The only surviving photo of Ginny and me together is from those days, us sitting on Mrs. Badgett's living room floor, 3 tiny kittens nestled in our laps. As the kittens grew up, we helped find them homes, but our bond with Mrs. Badgett stayed strong. Even after Ginny and I eventually left Lordsburg for different states, we still kept in touch with her. Ginny and I had been dating for a while, though by then my hormones were waking up in ways I didn't quite understand. I already knew I liked boys, but I also knew that boys were supposed to like girls. So I repressed my feelings and focused on making Ginny feel special. The best way a 6th grade boy could make a 5th grade girl feel. The most romantic thing we did was slow dance or bellies touching. Our favorite songs were Dreaming of You by Selena and Shut Up and Kiss Me by Mary Chapin Carpenter. Anytime we were alone, we were close. We stayed together until my grandma died, and my mom and I started preparing to move back to Fresno. Ginny and I knew it'd be a long time before we saw each other again. We promised to keep in touch, and for our last 2 weeks in Lordsburg, my mom and I even stayed at Ginny's house. When the day of our departure arrived, her dad drove us 5 hours to the airport in Tucson. On that drive, Ginny and I were chatterboxes in the back seat. Looking back, it felt like we were trying to say everything we possibly could. Like, if we didn't say it now, we might never get the chance. But as we pulled up to the airport, our words stopped. The weight of goodbye settled in, and we both started to cry. We hugged for as long as we could, then I watched her car drive off, waving at me until she was nothing but a speck in the distance. The flight back to Fresno was miserable. My mom was drunk, the turbulence was awful, and the boys behind me made fun of me for cradling my dog Ladybird in my lap. I had grown so accustomed to my life in New Mexico that I wasn't sure what home would feel like anymore. But we landed and life went on. I thought about Ginny a lot. The kids in Fresno were crueler than I remembered. It took a long time to find a friend like her again. The last glimpse of her waving at the airport is still the last time we saw each other in person, but we never lost touch. Before social media, we were pen pals. Now, even if months pass between conversations, she's more than just another name on my Facebook feed. I still consider Ginny one of my best friends. I know that if I ever needed her, she'd be there, and vice versa. She has a wife now and 2 amazing beanstalk-tall kids. She works hard and treats people with more kindness than she gives herself. Each time I see a new photo of her smiling, I'm reminded of how lucky I am to know her. It's been over 25 years since our last hug, but not a day goes by that I don't feel her warmth.